Hi, today we'll be talking about stalemate. In pawn endings, there are opportunities for stalemate, especially when you have strange situations that somehow look lost but aren't. For example, these pawns on b5 and d7 can't be stopped after d6 because if the white king tries to go king d4 and king d5 to capture the pawn on d6, then black simply plays b4. And although these pawns are far, like we've seen in the blockade video, the black king can just go to b7 and b8. Now, it looks like the only move for white to try is king d4. And now, black wouldn't play king b8 because of king c5, so capturing this pawn and then blockading this one for a draw. There's no way for white to win this because he has rook pawns. So we have to play king d4, and now to stop king c5, black plays d6. Now we can't play d5, king d5 because of king to d7, or actually not king d7 but king c7, and white has no way in. And after a7, then king to b7, and white loses. So the only way for white to catch this pawn and then blockade this one would be king c3. So he's taking the long way. Now with king b8, king b4, d5, and we're on time to catch this pawn. So he doesn't play d5, but if he plays king a7, it's the same thing, just king takes b5, and then after d5, king to c5, and it's a draw. So if black plays d5 now, then we would actually just play king to d4, and after b4, king takes d5, b3, king c6, king b8, but not b2 because of a7 and white. Well, white doesn't win because of queen to a check, queen to b8, and this is a draw. So let's look at that line. So after d5, king d4, b4, king takes d5, and now d3, or else white just catches the pawn. King c6, and now if b2, a7, b1 queens, queen a queens check, queen b8, and that's a draw. For example, queen a6, king to d8, or actually this might not be a draw. Yeah, this is a draw. Like after queen to b6 check, for example, queen takes b6, and either a takes b6 or c takes b6 is a draw. A takes b6 or king takes b6. Like if a takes b6, then simply king c8 and the blockade is there. Or if king takes b6, then king c8, and that's obviously a draw. a6, like we've seen in the rook pawns video, then simply king b8, followed by the blockade on king a8 for a stalemate. And if king to a7, then king c7, and the white king is stuck behind this barrier for a draw. So that doesn't really change much. And yeah, so it doesn't win, but it's still a draw. But black could try playing king b8, and now we have to play king b6 now. That's strange because king b6 and b2 followed by queening, but we have a stalemate. After king b6, if black tries king b8, it's the same thing. We just played a7. Black has only one move, b2, and then after king to a6, then this is a draw. White stalemates himself by trapping himself, and no one can move anywhere. White can't move, it's his move. But if he tries promoting to a rook pawn, to a rook, it's the same thing, stalemate. You can't checkmate with a bishop alone, and neither can you with a knight. So that's an interesting stalemate. And this is another stalemate, which is easier to find, because if we can push this pawn all the way here and somehow make this pawn not exist, or just make it immobile, like push it to c7 for example, then white won't have any moves. Also, what's interesting is that if this pawn queens, this queening diagonal will be checking the king, but if we have something in the way here, this pawn will be pinned and also immobile. So then if we push the pawn here, then after a5, h5, a4, h4, a5, h3, a6, h2, a7, black can't queen because it's stalemate. And if so let's see that in action. So after c6, also if we play c6 and then black plays king c7, then again we'll just stalemate ourselves. We're playing a4. And then if let's see, king takes c6. Oh, so look at this cool idea. So this is also seen in the pawn races video, where you create double threats. So c6, king c7, a4, h5, or king takes c6, a5, king b5. Now this looks lost, like we're completely out of the square. The square starts here. After h5, the square would start not out where the pawn's at, because pawns can hop too. So the square would start in front of the pawn for pawns on the second rank. Right, so that's not how you do it. So you actually do it right here. And obviously we're outside of the square. But after king e7, h5, obviously we're outside the square, but we can just play a6. h4, a7, h3, that wins for white. So that's an interesting thing to remember. After h5, then now just h5, a5. So then h4, a6, h3, a7, not h2 because it's stalemate, but let's say king takes c6, then king b8, and white wins. So let me see something. If we play a4, could he possibly play h6? Well, no, because a4, h6, a5, and h5, a6, or even h4. King takes, no, that's losing. So yeah, this is a total stalemate. So an interesting thing to note is that after h6 you don't play a4 because of h5, a5, h4, a6, h3, a7, and now there's no stalemate because of h2, c7, and checkmate. So let's go back to the original promotion. After c6, a5, a4, h5, a4, h4, a5, h3, a6, h2, a7. If he tries to promote to a rook, then this is still stalemate after c7. King takes c7 is stalemate, and any other move by the rook is still stalemate. White has no moves right now. If he tries to promote to a bishop, it's the same story as the queen, no moves, and obviously a knight cannot checkmate. and either way it's still stalemate after c7. So there is one more thing. So let me take a quick look at what I have here, because I know I'm forgetting something. So if white actually tries playing a4 here, then black doesn't play h5 because of a5, h4, a6, h3, a7, not h2 but king c7, and now c6. So let me take a double check on that again. So if white plays a4, then h6, a5, h5, a6, h4, a7, h3, c6, h2, c7, and then queens. So and if a3, then h5, a4, h4, a5, h3, a6, h7, h2, a7, queens, c6, queen takes c6, checkmate. So let's look at those lines. So if a4, which is losing, then h6, a5, h5, h6, h4, a7, h3, c6, h2, c7, queens, checkmate. And if a3, then h5, a4, h4, a5, h3, h6, a6, h2, a7, queens, c6, queen takes c6, checkmate. So those are some interesting stalemates to consider when there are opportunities. Like you can use double pawns to checkmate yourself if you have knight pawns or rook pawns. The knight pawns will be in another video. And if your king is cornered, you can definitely checkmate, stalemate yourself by pushing your pawn all the way to a7. So that's it on stalemates. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you liked it. Feel free to donate. Link is in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.